Very good morning to all of you. We are studying the environment and ecology and trying to understand the institutional framework for environmental conservations, wildlife conservations. So in the last class, we have seen that how that forest become a state property through various initiatives undertaken by the British government, by East India Company. And किस तरह से when it become under the control of the state, the forest dwellers' rights gradually curtailed. Now, today we will primarily understand कि after independence, the first policy resolutions come in the 1952. Okay, अभी तक फोकस क्या था? It was economic importance of the forest. मतलब the ecological necessity, मतलब ecological balance, the rights of the forest dweller. These are not area of the concern. But let us see कि 1952 forest policy come, and in the 1952 actually it aims for the protections of the plants and animals, and it basically in terms of the national parks plus the wildlife sanctuaries. So let us see कि अब after the independence government of India का क्या approach था with respect to conservation of the forest, with the conservation of the wildlife. So today we will study, and this policy resolution also provide the base for the enactment of Wildlife Protection Act 1972. So all those aspects with respect to these two area we will see today. Okay, and let's start the today's class. So now let's see the Forest Policy Resolution of 1952. That means after independence. So after independence, there were the two Forest Policy Resolution. It was the Forest Policy Resolution of 1952 and the Forest Policy Resolution of 1988. Okay. So Forest Policy Resolution 1952 actually makes the background for Wildlife Protection Act 1972. ठीक है, ये premise बनाता है, बेस बनाता है, and Forest Policy Resolution 1988 makes the background or base or premise for the Forest Rights Act 2006. So actually the Wildlife Protection Act 1972, it basically criminalized the forest dwellers. Okay, you can call it criminalizes the forest dwellers. ठीक है, फॉरेस्ट ड्वेलर्स, इसका मतलब फॉरेस्ट राइट एक्ट 2006 इसको रेक्टिफाई किया गया. ओके, इट मींस द फॉरेस्ट राइट एक्ट 2006 इट व्हाट इज restore the traditional rights of the forest dwellers. ठीक है. So now let us start and understand the Forest Policy Resolution of 1952. So Forest Policy Resolution of 1952. So after independence, it was the first policy resolution. So number one, after independence, the first policy resolution was adopted. And at that time, the focus area was economic importance. What was that? The focus area क्या था? Economic importance. ठीक है, economic importance. अब थोड़ा बहुत protection होगा because we now got the freedom. So what was that objective? Objective was the protection of the plants and animals. So objective of this policy was the protection किसका? Plants and animals. ठीक है. that is flora, fauna. And how you do the protection? And that was done through demarcating the forest as some protected areas like national park and wildlife sanctuary. That were done through, and you can write here, that was done through demarcating the forest into what? The protected area. जब हम लोग पढ़ेंगे protected areas के बारे में, so for the time being you simply note the protected areas like national parks and sanctuaries. ठीक है? So this actually provides the base for Wildlife Protection Act 1972. So that 2 points you should keep in mind, that this is the first resolution. It actually aims the protection of the plants and animals, and second thing, how they can protect by dividing the forest into the protected areas like national park and wildlife sanctuary. ठीक है? So forest जो land है, forest को अब हम लोग demarcate करेंगे कि इसमें से कुछ national parks हैं, कुछ वाइल्ड लाइफ सेंचुरीज हैं, अभी देखेंगे कम्युनिटी रिजर्व, कंजर्वेशन रिजर्व, टाइगर रिजर्व. सो इंपॉर्टेंट नोट, इट टॉक्स अबाउट द सेंचुरीज एंड नेशनल पार्क. ये टाइगर रिजर्व्स की बात नहीं करता है. पॉलिसी रिजोल्यूशन 1952. सो दिस इज एन इंपॉर्टेंट एरिया. व्हाट वाज दैट? द फोकस वाज नेशनल पार्क एंड सेंचुरी. नाउ this policy resolution provides the base for Wildlife Protection Act, what, 1972. So now let's see the Wildlife Protection Act 1972. Resolution of 1952, it provides the base for Wildlife Protection Act 1972. The Wildlife Protection Act 1972, it is an umbrella act for the protection of what? Flora and fauna. ठीक है, right? The few points about the Wildlife Protection Act 1972. It is an umbrella act. Umbrella का मतलब the comprehensive act, okay, जो कि सारे provision को incorporate करता है. So it is an umbrella act for the protection of flora and fauna. ठीक है, protection of flora and fauna. Now, second thing, it was last amended in 2006 to give statutory status to the Project Tiger. It was last amended in 2006 to give statutory status to Project Tiger. ये statutory status क्या है? In polity, you might have studied that there are statutory body. Okay, what do you mean by statutory body? Any body which is created by or created through an statute. Statute is also called act. It is also called law. Law is legislated by Parliament. So if any body is created by a law of Parliament, that is also called statute of Parliament, then it is called a statutory body. It means the Project Tiger was launched in 1973. So statutory status उसको provide करने के लिए this Wildlife Protection Act 1972 was amended in 2006. इसका मतलब इसका legitimacy ज्यादा बढ़ गया. ठीक है, obligation ज्यादा बढ़ गया. Now let us see the peculiar features of the Wildlife Protection Act 1972. Now, the Wildlife Protection Act 1972 defines the 5 types of protected areas. This Wildlife Protection Act 1972 defines 5 protected areas. And there are 6 schedules. With respect to level of protection and penalties. Okay, let's see. So what are the 5 protected areas? The 5 protected areas are national parks, wildlife sanctuaries, wildlife sanctuaries, community reserve, conservation reserves, and tiger reserves. Community reserves, conservation reserves, and the tiger reserves. Okay, and tiger reserves. So these are the 5 types of protected areas, and there are the 6 schedules. There are Schedule 1, Schedule 2, Schedule 3, Schedule 4, Schedule 5, and Schedule 6 under Wildlife Protection Act 1972. One thing you keep and just simply write a note that which one is the apex body in India with respect to wildlife. It is NBWL, National Board for Wildlife. ठीक है, NBWL तो याद रख लेना. So it is the apex body in the country. NBWL is the apex body in the country vis-a-vis मतलब with respect to wildlife. And who is the chairperson of NBWL? It is the Prime Minister. So PM is the chairperson of NBWL. So it is the highest body, apex body. It means approval power is only given by NBWL. So authority of approval is given to NBWL. So you can simply write approval powers here. इसे याद रहेगा कि approval कौन करता है? Approval power किसके पास है? It is on NBWL, National Board for Wildlife. Now let's understand some peculiar things about the national parks and wildlife sanctuaries. Okay, let us develop a chart. The national park and wildlife sanctuary, there are some the features. Through this table you can remember that grazing rights, national park में it is not allowed. Tenurial rights of the dwellers not allowed. Land rights नहीं दिए जाते हैं. Declaration of national park, how it is declared? It is declared by state government via notification. याद रखेंगे, it is declared by state government. ठीक है. Change or alteration in the boundary of national park, who can do? By state government. And approval, okay, all these declarations, change, it is approved by NBWL. already बता चुका, approval power NBWL के पास होता है. With respect to wildlife sanctuaries, कुछ liberal clause होते हैं, like tenurial rights, grazing rights, land rights. It can be allowed here, but with the permission of chief wildlife warden of the state. ये याद रखेंगे, ठीक है. So it is important. Chief wildlife warden of the state can provide these rights. Now, how it is declared? Same the state government. The boundary can be changed through state government via resolution, approval by NBWL. Wildlife Protection Act 1972 also provides the concept of the community reserves and conservation reserves. Before that, write a note here that this act criminalizes the forest dwellers. Okay, what? Act criminalizes the forest dwellers, and deprived of from their traditional rights. ठीक है, बता चुका already. From their traditional rights, and that leads to what? Their marginalization. And हमने अभी क्या देखा था कि this was actually attempted to rectify in the Forest Right Act 2006. So before that, let's see the two other aspect of this Wildlife Protection Act 1972, that is community reserve and conservation reserve. The community reserve and conservation reserves. Community reserves and conservation reserves. ठीक है, community reserves and conservation reserves. Actually, the national park and wildlife sanctuary, the criteria to declare is very strict. You have to follow a strict criteria. But there are the certain areas which do not comes under the strict criteria of national park and wildlife sanctuary. Then how they are managed? And those are called the community reserve and conservation reserve. So यहाँ focus होता है, that is community participation. That is with the help of local community participation, civil society. So first of all, what is community reserve and conservation reserve? That is, there are certain areas which do not comes under strict criteria, जो नेशनल पार्क या वाइल्ड लाइफ सेंचुरी पे नहीं आते हैं, उनको सीआर कम्युनिटी रिजर्व या कंजर्वेशन रिजर्व बोला जाता है. ओके, लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल नेशनल पार्क एंड वाइल्ड लाइफ सेंचुरी आर कॉल्ड the community reserves and conservation reserves. So here the focus is on community management. So their management is done through greater participation from local communities, civil societies, and other stakeholders. Okay, and other stakeholders. So objective is to promote what? The community participation. Objective is to promote the community participation. ठीक है, community participation in joint forest management. ठीक है, in joint forest management. So this is the community reserve and conservation reserve. Those do not qualify here, it should be managed through joint forest management. And there is a fifth component, that is called tiger reserves. Okay, there are tiger reserves. So first of all, understand what is tiger reserve. And the tiger reserves are also same as, but ultimate authority here is National Tiger Conservation Authority. That is ultimate body in case of tiger reserve क्या है? NTCA. शॉर्ट में क्या बोलते हैं? National Tiger Conservation Authority. Okay, so it is, everything is managed by that NTCA. So in case of the tiger reserve, that no alteration can be done without the recommendation of NBWL and NTCA. So NBWL and NTCA ये greater role play करता है. Okay, you can write here, no alteration can be done. Okay, no alteration can be done without the recommendation of what? NBWL and without the advice of NTCA without the advice of NTCA. ठीक है, so especially for tiger reserves, NTCA was created, National Tiger Conservation Authority. And one more thing, how the tiger reserves are declared, how the area is declared as a tiger reserve. So for this, basically state government forward the proposal to the central government. State government sent the proposal to the central government for the declaration, or you can say that the central government via NTCA advised the state that please send the proposal for declaration of NTCA. So the declaration, how it is done? Basically, the proposal for declaration is sent by state government to the central government for approval, or the state government via NTCA can ask or advise the state government to please send the proposal for the declaration. So these are the five the components, the bodies which are created under the Wildlife Protection Act 1972. In addition to this, the Wildlife Protection Act also provides the extent of protections and the extent of penalties. So there are the 6 schedules. Let's understand. There are 6 schedules under Wildlife Protection Act. Okay? Plant and animal के लिए. Now, schedules basically provide the level of protections and the extent of penalty. So here you can write there is Schedule 1 and some part of Schedule 2. ठीक है? जो भी कैटेगरी है, those are provided absolute protection. ठीक है? यहाँ पर absolute protection है, मतलब hunting नहीं कर सकते हैं. And here the highest penalty was given. ठीक है? Highest possible penalty हमको दिया जाता है. Under the Schedule 3 plus Schedule 4. Schedule 3, Schedule 4, those plants and animals are what? It is protected, and it is, you can call it, normal penalties for violation. In Schedule 5, there are animals which can be hunted. Schedule 5 में क्या है? There are some animals which can be hunted. Which can be hunted. Sometime in exam schedule के बारे में पूछ सकता है, plus ये नाम याद रखेंगे. What are the names? There are the common crow, fruit bat, mice and rats. ये simply ये 4 हैं which can be hunted. So these are under the Schedule 5. Okay. Now under the Schedule 6 there are certain plants जिसका cultivation हम लोग नहीं कर सकते हैं, and you can write the plants which are prohibited from cultivation. ठीक है? They are prohibited from cultivation and planting. इसको नहीं लगा सकते हैं. That was completely prohibited. And what are that? In name, these names are important. Okay? Can ask. Red Vanda, Blue Vanda, write it. Red Vanda, Blue Vanda, Tooth, Cycad, Ladies Sleeper Orchard, and feature plants. Okay? And the feature plants. So these are the 6 plants which is prohibited from cultivation. So this is a brief information and brief thing about the 6 schedules. So with these we actually understood the Wildlife Protection Act 1972, which provided for provision for protected areas for the protection of plants and animals. So that national park, wildlife sanctuary, community reserve, conservation reserves, and then under the 6th schedule, the category of protections and the extent of penalties provisions are given. Here, Schedule 5, Schedule 6 are important, and in general, you should know about the different schedules. So, my dear friend, let's conclude the today's class that we have understood कि कैसे Government of India now changing the stand. Okay, now focus is on the protections of the wildlife, the flora and fauna, but still अभी तक focus area क्या था? It was on the basis of economical importance. ठीक है? In subsequent class we will see कि after this, that is in 1988, that the focus of shift होगा, that now consider the forest as an ecological necessity. ठीक है? Environmental loss, climatic changes, इसके लिए ecological balance, ecological conservation most important है. So today we have taken up the very important area, that is the Wildlife Protection Act. यहाँ से क्वेश्चन पूछे जाते हैं, so extra care should be taken. And addition to this, that forest policy resolutions of the 1952. Okay, so all these lectures will help you to understand ये है क्या. जब भी पेपर हम लोग पढ़ते हैं तो व्हाट शुड बी द अप्रोच, क्या क्या फोकस एरिया होनी चाहिए. सो होपफुली नाउ इट बिकम्स इजी फॉर यू टू अप्रोच द एनवायरनमेंट एंड इकोलॉजी. एक्चुअली में क्या पढ़ना होता है. सो कीप रिवाइजिंग, we will updating with the new classes, new lectures, new orientations. It will help you all through the course of the preparation. Okay, so it's your duty now. Revise, make some notes, and go and start reading the textbook. Okay, keeping in mind all these facts and the concepts which we are delivering here. So that today let's conclude here. Tomorrow we will see the further concepts. So hope for the best. So take care. Good luck. Have a good day.